What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody today? Good to hear. So today is Saturday. We're going to talk about an album that I bring out with me to DJ on Saturdays. A great album to play on Saturdays when, you know, party's getting a little pumping, it's getting a little hot in there. I like to play some Add N to X. This is their 2002 album called Loud Like Nature. It's their fifth album. It's also their last album. They formed in 1994 in London, England. Broke up in 2003. I think they got together over a common interest of like collecting vintage synthesizers and like vintage, you know, 60s, 70s, like electronic instruments and analog instruments and stuff like that. So they had a common bond over like weird kind of, you know, just abusing and making these weird old instruments make all kinds of like strange alien noises. Decided to form a band. These guys are a trio. This is probably their most accessible sounding, even though it's not 100% accessible. It still has all these kind of like experimental noisy properties to it, but it's very, very dance floor oriented, I guess. It's got some like more streamlined ideas and you know, hip-hop kind of beats, thumping bass and stuff like that, but it still has lots of overblown like synthesizers. The synths on here are still very loud and buzzy and, you know, distortion friendly and stuff like that, and they're making all kinds of weird like alien bleeps and bloops and swirls and stuff. Very, very colorful album, very exciting to listen to. It's still a little bit challenging. It does have a little bit of a punk rock aesthetic, so it kind of gets a little trashy, a little dirty at times, but it's very, very fun to listen to. It's never really heard anything quite done like this. Like, there's been some other bands who've been making music like this, like Fitness and like Ladytron and like Does This Offend You? Yeah, they all kind of dabble in that kind of retro electronica kind of thing, but these guys take it to this whole new kind of like overblown kind of druggy level. There's some instrumental songs in here, and there's some songs with lyrics and stuff like that, but the lyrics and vocals are never that complicated though. Just pretty much just repeating the same line over and over, or just slowing down the vocals a lot and saying you're gonna go home in a body bag or a party bag, I think it was. But yeah, still very dance ready, very dance floor oriented. It's experimental and catchy all at once, sexy and ugly all at once. It can be sleek and abrasive. It does have a pretty good sense of humor. They have these songs about aliens and wanting them to take you to their leader and Polaroid people, whatever a Polaroid person is, but this guy is doing this little spoken word spiel about seeing Polaroid people everywhere. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. For the most part it's very dancey, but it does go into these little kind of, I don't know, like slower, more, I don't know, I don't want to say more ambient sounding kind of excursions, I guess, little segues between songs. But yeah, all kinds of weird noises on here, all kinds of weird rhythms, very, very big sounds, very colorful, very loud, all kinds of weird effects. It's pretty hyperactive, pretty chaotic kind of sounding. It sounds, most of the sounds in here sound kind of like deformed or like damaged sounding, I guess. This album also has a pretty high libido. It's a pretty horny album, lots of like sexual references. I guess these guys like used to put porno stars in their old videos and stuff. Oh, what is also this other rumor I heard? It's probably true. Oh, I can't remember, but Add N to X. I don't know where they get the name Add N to X from, but it's a pretty cool little piece of like electro clash album for sure. Very fun to listen to. Very upbeat for the most part. It's 13 songs, 51 minutes. Weird cover art of just them walking around in this very yellow and orange desert scene. There's the band members, titles written in this hot pink kind of spray paint. Very messy writing, more on the back. They're still continuing their little trek through the desert there. Then here they are, they're sitting in some field, standing there. Strike a pose. And then in the sleeve is this big poster. And on one side pretty much just expands on the cover art a little. It's got this weird collage of them in the desert. It says they're Analogers Anonymous members. Very yellow. What's going on up here? Stripper drawing, and then there's the band just chilling in the woods, I guess. Found some sort of campsite scene. Good job, guys. Very weird. Yeah, these guys broke up in 2003. I'm not sure why, but these guys, like I said, this is probably the most accessible album. Their older stuff used to be a little more experimental sounding. It still was very, very electro-oriented, though, very electronic sounding and very synth-heavy and stuff like that, and just using and abusing these vintage synth players and making them produce all these strange noises that they probably shouldn't be making, but they make. But yeah, If you like loud, noisy, kind of dirty electro, it's totally good to listen to. I really like it. It's challenging enough to be interesting, and not 100% accessible. Very strange, very kind of non-linear. All these cool ideas are being thrown at you. But it's also, it's groovy. You could throw this on at the club and people will dance to it just because it's very loud, very energetic, very driven kind of album. At N to X, Loud Like Nature, 2002, Mute Records.